what I want you to understand tonight is that a requirement for success means that sometimes you got to make quick decisions. Write that down. That a requirement for success means that sometimes you're going to have to make quick decisions. And if you are afraid to make quick decisions, you're going to find that your success quickly and swiftly dissipates rather, simply because you are afraid to make a decision because fear has restricted you and immobilized you. And once again, take it from somebody who's been there. I deal with fear on a regular. So I'm telling you, I'm not delivered from fear. Let me say that to you. I don't think you can ever be delivered from fear, because fear is something that has been given to us by the Father. Because the truth is, just as there is a negative side of fear, there is a positive side of fear, because fear also is a teacher. It's a motivator. It's a trainer. If you didn't have any fear, if someone was about to harm you, the presence of fear causes you to react quickly so that you can respond in a way that protects yourself. Is that making sense? So I want to make sure that those of you who are entrepreneurs understand that you cannot escape the reality of fear and the presence of fear. So what I want to talk with you guys about tonight is I want to talk about this fear of failing as you endeavor to build your business, because one of the things that I've come to recognize and understand is that the fear of failure, it stalks the world of entrepreneurs worldwide, right? You just need to understand that all of us have to face and address the issue of fear, and whether that fear is surrounded around losing clients or running out of money or people not investing in the products and services that you have to offer. As an entrepreneur, I want you to understand that you must understand and learn extremely quickly that courage is not the absence of fear. Write that down, that courage is not the absence of fear, but it is really the ability to persist in spite of the fear. There is a survey that has suggested that 75% of business ventures fail within the first 2 years. 75% of business ventures fail within the first 2 years. And they were able to cite that most of those business ventures failed because those entrepreneurs failed miserably at understanding the why behind fear and the reason why fear is essential as you build your business. And so what I want to do tonight is I want to give you 11 areas of fear that I have personally had to manage, and then we're just going to build from there. So I hope this is making sense for you guys tonight. If you have a question, just drop it in the chat. Once again, this is just an opportunity for me to talk about what most of you guys are dealing with right now as you build your business. The truth is, you've not launched the hair product, you've not launched the special cream that you make, you've not launched the oil business, you've not started the salon, you've not started the restaurant, you've not started the car business, you've not started the law firm, you've not started the apparel company or the t-shirt company, you've not written the first book yet, you've not started the graphic design organization, you've not started the marketing company. And I'm almost certain, if I put many of you guys on the spot and I interviewed you tonight, I'm certain you're going to agree and you're going to mention that there is an element of fear that is present in your life currently that has you second guessing whether or not this is something that is worth your time. Now, I shared something in a free group that I offer coaching, free business coaching to some entrepreneurs in Fisherman's Corner. And I hope y'all are in the room tonight. So if y'all are, just put in the chat that you're here. But I talk about that if you want to experience success in business, you must understand that you must double down on your failure rate. The quicker you fail, this is going to now get you closer to experiencing success in your life, because the polar opposite of success is failure. If you don't experience any failure, then how do you know that if you've succeeded or not, right? Good to have you, Valerie. I see you, Miss Kara. Thank you all for being here tonight. If you don't know, the only way for you to know that you've succeeded is when you know that you failed miserably at something, right? So I want you to understand that if you want to succeed, the argument is you need to double down on your failure rate. You need to get it out of the way. You need to get it out of your system, because there's going to be potent ingredients that's dropped in your seasons of failure that you're going to be able to use to build the next business venture. Now, let me say this: just because one venture didn't work doesn't mean you got to throw the idea away. It's the saying, don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. Discard the water, protect the baby, reconsider the environment that you planted in, and try again. And this is where some of you guys are. So what I want to do is I want to give you some things that you got to manage in fear. I'm going to talk about the 11 areas. I literally took the time a few days ago while I was preparing to record some content, and I wrote down 11 areas of fear that I manage on a day-to-day basis, because fear is also a business that you must manage. And if you don't manage it well, it's going to control your life, and it's going to control your profit margins. Okay, did you hear me? It's going to control your profit margins. The reason why you don't post about your social media on your social media page about what you do, it's because the presence of fear is telling you that nobody wants to hear what you have to offer. That's fear. It's controlling your profit margins. The reason why you won't launch the website and get the website going is because of fear is telling you you don't know nothing about building a website. So fear is said, don't bother learning it. You know, you're in your older age. You know, technology is well advanced and it's like 10, 20 years ahead of you. And so you really don't have the energy in that. That is fear. And when fear runs your business, it controls your profit margins. But I just declared that by faith in the name of Jesus, we're going to put fear in check tonight. And you're going to check fear. Now, we can't pray it away. We're going to find how to cooperate and use fear for our advantage so that we can then take the mechanism of fear and use it in a way that produces more profits inside of the business. Good to have you, Ms. Muigwa. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. So let's talk about the 11 areas of business that you must manage when it comes to fear. The first area of business of fear that you must manage, it is the fear of change. If there's one thing that is constant in business, it is change. They're actually forecasting that sometime next year in the spring of 2023 that they're forecasting that we're in the midst of a recession. This wouldn't be the first time that our country, our world, the financial institution has been in the midst of a recession. If you are an investor and you have watched the stock market, you find that the stock market is not doing its best right now. Just 9 months ago, 10 months ago, Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin was trading, I believe, somewhere around $67,000 per coin. If you check it today, it is trading below $20,000. This is not the first time that the cryptocurrency market has went into a decline. You can come back from a recession. And what I want to say to those of you, if you are afraid of change, go ahead and hold on to your 9 to 5. You got to learn that you're going to have to deal with the fear of change. Business introduces change at any whim. Something could change in the pricing of the products that you have to offer. The world could shut down and they stop shipping chips for vehicles. And so now the pricing of vehicles has increased, where what was known as a depreciating asset is now moved from being a liability to an asset. So at a time where, an old car that was sitting in your garage that was not worth more than $1,500 post the pandemic, that same car today may be worth $4,000 to $5,000. Change happens in the financial industry, and you must be aware of that in your business. You have to learn Here's a word that you don't want to hear, but we have learned, we have mastered it. You got to learn how to pivot. I had to make a tough decision today, even in one of in my business today. Something was happening. I looked at the data. I didn't like the information. I spoke with my executive assistant. I says, well, I'm going to sit here and we're going to figure something out. We're going to pivot from this moment. I'm not going to lament. I'm not going to, look at the situation and sulk over the situation, because sulking does anything. It doesn't do anything for the profit margins. All it does is delay it. So take the data, look at it, understand that in business, you got to deal with the business of the fear of change. The second one, of course, is the fear of failure. That is the obvious. All of us, you're starting a business, you fear that it's not going to work. You know you need a storefront, but you're afraid that you're going to fail at it because you're the first person in your family that's ever launched into a business. Although your family is good at what they do, your grandma taught you, her mother taught her grandparents taught her, and so you got rich history in this idea. But the fear of going out there and committing yourself to this storefront that could be a great opportunity for exposure for your business, the fear of failure. And here's what I'm going to say to you: failure is very possible. Own that. It's the truth. It ain't lying. You might fail at it, but it's okay. Take it from a guy who has failed at many things, but I have overcame every failure. I've overcome every obstacle, from the obstacle of a crashing real estate market, from the obstacle of a bad credit rating, from the obstacle of having to file bankruptcy in my 20s after having over $500,000 in unsecured debt, not including the homes that we had. The market the bottom fell out of the real estate market. But believe it or not, I'm today telling you about a time that I made it over. You will overcome it. So I want you to understand that in dealing with the business of the fear of failure, it's quite possible that you might fail, but one thing is for certain: you'll overcome it.